Here's Brody Brazil.
You know, the voicemail line has some serious momentum right now. So many calls every single day. I cannot get to responding to all of them, but I do listen to every single one. If yours hasn't made it on a video yet, please don't be discouraged. Call in with something else. I will eventually get to you down the line.
Hey, Brody, this is Mike from Shoreline, Washington. I love your content. I'm calling in just to talk about ads. They're honestly getting out of control in MLB. I'm looking at the Fox broadcast right now, specifically with the Cincinnati game, and they changed the whole camera angle just so they can fit a whole nother ad on the screen. Honestly, it's becoming like it's more about ads than the sport, and I'd love to see you do an episode about ads. Thanks again, and talk soon. Bye.
Mike, thank you. And you're probably not wrong. I mean, if you've watched enough of your team's baseball, like Reds baseball this year, you probably noticed, hey, did the camera move? Because it feels like it's way more behind the pitcher now than where it used to be, probably off to the right. Mike, I think I've actually pulled a still image here of the game exactly you were talking about from the other day. And yeah, this is that straight on view of pitcher to catcher. Like, you're right in that line of vision, where again, sometimes the camera used to be off in that direction and you'd have more of that perspective, pitcher and catcher. Kind of like the way a lot of ballparks used to be. They never really put cameras dead center. But I get it. I get what you're saying here. And again, it's because they need to fit all of those ads into the screen. The camera operator and the director and the broadcast, they are very well aware of framing this shot so you can see everything. I mean, optimally, isn't that more of the shot that you want to see? I know I'm doing that maybe more 4:3, 16:9 HD. I'm an old school guy, but isn't that normally what you'd expect to see? But if you do that, you can't see all of that. You can't see all of that either. It's like a square Mickey Mouse head there. So let me just point out what exactly is on the screen here. I see Geico. I see JTM. I see Logan Services. I see FanDuel. I see Great American Ballpark. I see FanDuel twice. Coca-Cola, BetMGM, Reds.com/tickets, not just in one place, but two. Crest on that screen, like, you need to think about brushing your teeth while watching this game. Crest is on that screen that changes behind home plate. I see Lexus on the seats. And let's not forget, on the mound, behind the rubber is something that's sprayed on there that I can't even tell. It's deteriorated already. The pitchers have walked around on it too much to even make out exactly what it is. But if I'm counting here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different things that are ads that are there for you to look at on the field. And it kind of makes, like, from here down, it kind of makes this section a little bit like pristine. Like, oh, that's the part where I don't have to look at an ad. Well, you know what? Someday they might superimpose something right here or right here. Would you be surprised? I wouldn't. I feel like that would be terribly distracting. It's very possible. I mean, they could already do this, by the way. The technology is easily already there, but this one seems a little bit overwhelming. And to the point of your call, like, I get it. I see what you're seeing here. We used to be accustomed to, back in the day, one here, one there, name of the ballpark. Okay, that's it. Or maybe two over here. And again, that's why when they used to frame it this way, maybe the ads would only be on that side, right? Like, they wouldn't try and fit in ads over here too. But nowadays they're like, wait, if we shoot this straight from behind the pitcher, wide shot, plenty of real estate, this is how we can fit it all in. It's all strategic. You're right about moving the camera. You're right about all this. It was very intentional. So that's baseball. But I actually want to pull up here another example of ads in a sport which I think have gone the right way. I think this has benefited hockey to go to the superimposed, I shouldn't have done yellow. Come on. Let's do red. Ads that appear here on the boards. Now, in real life, there are decals that are put up on the boards. They don't change. They're not, honestly, terribly distracting. You're used to them by now. Basically, around the entire rim of the boards, there's ads. And sometimes there's little electronic spaces, like here, there'll be a screen in there and that changes. But for the most part, they're static. They don't change. They don't move. They just kind of stay there. It's like an outfield fence of baseball. But I like what they've done in television because look how simple this is now. We're watching a Sportsnet broadcast. This is a network up in Canada, and Scotiabank is obviously one of the larger banks in Canada. But very cool because look There's a tagline here, a logo there, but it's all one company. And right now they're dominating the entire boards, but it's not overwhelming. You don't see an ad here and then a different one there. And they're not all like competing for your attention on television. And this is pretty much the way that the NHL has gone on TV, is that regionally and nationally, all the broadcasts pretty much feature these superimposed ads. My point is, I like that. Now, some people might say, well, the animations like the Scotiabank will fly in. There's too much movement here with these superimposed graphics. But I'm here to say I will trade that for the simplicity of it. Like, it almost looks like we're missing something right here. It kind of feels nice. It's decluttered. And because of that, I think the advertiser is getting more. I think that it's just a cleaner product. I don't know if everybody agrees with me. I think there's some watching right now who will counter what I'm saying. That's fine. We're just differing opinions. But the way I see it, like, I think this is a good evolution of advertising in a sport, as we've seen in hockey. And yeah, you know what? The ads superimposed on the ice, like Tylenol right there, that doesn't really exist on the ice. They've found that this spot right here, just inside the blue line, it's a valuable spot when the camera is framed up right here and, you know, team's respective O zone or D zone, that this spot right here is always on TV. And so that's a valuable spot. They're going to change it out. They don't want to paint one thing on the ice. See, here's what I miss. You can't, like right here, this is the Western Final of the Stanley Cup playoffs. There's no Stanley Cup playoff logo right here, like there always used to be. And if you're seeing this game in person, you're missing out on kind of that ambiance of having the Stanley Cup playoff or Stanley Cup final logo right there because something has to be superimposed over it. So a little bit of a trade-off. Can't say you always love everything, but I do like in hockey how it's been decluttered with the virtual ads. Let me get to some other big points here. Like, advertising in sports right now in 2025 is huge because live sports remain one of the sure bets of advertising. We know that people are going to tune in to watch certain games. We know that sports are almost like guaranteed viewership, where these days with segmented audiences and a lot of people cutting the cord of their cable or satellite subscription and watching YouTube videos by Brody Brazil, people know though, or advertisers know that people are going to watch sports. That's a given. And that's why live sports remains, again, a sure bet of advertising. You know you're going to get placement. You know that ad is valuable, and that's why they're trying to cram as many in here as possible. There is, though, that dilemma, that true dilemma between visual appeal and value, right? So is the advertiser being placed well versus selling every square inch? Like, oh my gosh, that Scotiabank ad, for example, that's giving visual appeal and value. You're the only one on the boards. You paid for this. You're going to get your 90 seconds or whatever, and then it changes. That's fine. But you're getting both of those versus selling every square inch and trying to fit in Scotiabank and, you know, whatever, Boston Pizza or Tim Hortons or 10 other advertisements in there that clutter it all up. You're getting value versus trying to sell every square inch. I'm kind of surprised. Now, we've talked about baseball and hockey here. I'm kind of surprised that the NFL has left their fields so unblemished. I mean, ads in the end zones, you would think, ads in the red zones, ads, you know, if there's the field, there's the 50-yard line, maybe something up here, maybe something down there. It just, there's so much potential for this. And the NFL, I give them credit. They're one of the biggest beasts in sports, and they're not really doing this. How about even like soccer, for example, where there's that ribbon that runs around the pitch? Like, we don't see that in football. We can't really see that on the sidelines because players need to come on and off every play so quickly. But football has largely stayed away from overdoing it with advertisements on the field or on your screen in person. The ability to superimpose, I mean, obviously this opens up so many doors, and this is the wave of the future. So don't be surprised if there's more virtual ads than physical ones moving on down the line. But I think the biggest point here is that we are so desensitized now to seeing this many ads. Again, back in the day, it might be one thing or two things, and then it went up to four things. And now I just pointed out 12 different ads on a Reds game. Who are they playing there? I totally forgot the clip. On a Reds game. The Cubs, that's who they were playing. Like, Reds versus Cubs, 12 ads on the screen. We have become desensitized. Now we're like, I have to like process all that stuff out and watch the game. But I will say this, we're able to do it now, but up to a certain limit. when 12 goes to 15 things on the screen and 15 goes to 20, at some point people are going to say, whoa, 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 that's enough. And maybe in the case of the Reds game, that's why you called in, and that's the enough. That's the threshold for you. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Ads in sports, like, we're reaching new heights and we're being creative here. Are there things you do mind or don't mind, or you understand or you don't understand? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, thumbs up while you're down there helps me, this video, and this channel. And don't forget to subscribe. I would love to see you back here next time.